Not gonna play that whole thing. All right. Actually, I'll finish it off. So here we are at the end of July, and the topic came up today about me heel turning on the spiritual community. It came up in the car after we were hiking. We kind of went on a little hike. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyways, so I don't know. My boyfriend was just telling me, wow, you really found your voice. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you kind of like heel turned on the spiritual community. You were just kind of like, oh, fuck this. I'm saying this. And, you know, it's like you're kind of, in actuality, being more you, I guess. Hey, Chris. So then he was like, you're kind of like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I was like, oh yeah, huh? And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like the Stone Cold Steve Austin of the spiritual community. And then I started thinking of Stone Cold and how much I love Stone Cold and why he was such a huge thing. And I know that a lot of you have heard me talk about this before. And a lot of it is because he was, like, if you watch wrestling in the 90s, you know, around that time that Stone Cold Steve Austin changed the whole era. Like, he came in and he completely turned everything around. It was all about Hulk Hogan and take your vitamins and say your prayers and all this shit. And Stone Cold came in and everything changed. It became the Attitude Era. And I was like, wow, this is kind of like what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm kind of changing it up a little bit, you know? Like, Doreen Virtue was like the Hulk Hogan of the spiritual community. And now she's gone, you know? She's like somewhere else. She's doing her own thing. I got love for Doreen Virtue, but there's more Stone Cold Steve Austins coming in now in the spiritual community. Or the ascension community, I should say. I sometimes like the word spiritual. I like the word ascension. And I was really thinking about it when I got home, and I was like, I got to do a video on this because I love Stone Cold. Ashley is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that is something that we all integrate into us when we become our truth. We become our influences. We bring the pieces of who influenced us into our practice. And Stone Cold and The Rock were definitely two people that highly influenced me growing up. But the thing with Stone Cold Steve Austin was that he came in and it was all about being the good guy and the American hero. And he came in with flipping people off and drinking beers and beating the shit out of the boss. You know, the corporate guy, Vince McMahon. And everybody loved it. Everyone was like, this is my dude. Like, at that time, around like 97, 98, 99, Stone Cold was the man. Maybe even 96. No, 96 was when he was like coming into that. And it was because people needed somebody that was real and somebody that they could relate to, you know? It wasn't somebody that was like this goody-goody bodybuilder. Yeah, brother. You know what I mean? Like, I love Hulk Hogan. I was a Hulkamaniac growing up. But when Stone Cold Steve Austin came in, I was like, yo, this is who I can connect to. Like, fuck everything. Fuck everyone. You know? Like, a lot of people are just angry. They're sick of being taken advantage of. And with my post yesterday, a lot of people loved it. That's what he was talking about, my post yesterday, with my middle fingers up. And I was like, yes, that's me. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's Ashley 316, Ashley 333. And I was like really thinking about it. Even with Stone Cold, his symbol was the snake, the rattlesnake. And when you think of snake in the spiritual community or the animal totem of snake, it has to do with rebirth. So I think that this is what is coming with the ascension process. There's more people that are needed, that are real, that are raw, that, yeah, Ric Flair is the man. I love Charlotte Flair too. She's amazing. We need a lot of that to wake people up because all the foofy fluffy shit it's gonna help some people. There are people that need that gentleness, that need that nurturing, but there's a lot of people who need people like me, people that understand anger, that understand aggression, and don't tell people, oh, your anger is wrong, it's not right for you to be feeling that anger. That's what's said. No, anger is something that's real. Anger has a lot to do with passion. Stone Cold came in with a lot of fucking passion. He wanted to be number one. He wanted to beat up the boss because that's what the people wanted. And that was like a whole thing. That was, to me, that was foreshadowing what is beginning to happen now with the ascension process. It's the crumbling of the patriarchy. The man, the white man in the suit and tie that is here controlling us all. This is the beginning of it, folks. Like, this is the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of us being the Stone Cold Steve Austins. Like, I'm coming in the fucking ascension spiritual community with my middle fingers up, giving people stunners, waking them the fuck up, and really integrating this energy in, whether people like it or not. It's about being real. It's about giving people something that is real, not something that is hokey all the time. I mean, I was a fan of Doreen Virtue, and I think that I needed her at the time because I was so angry and because I was so pissed off. But now that I'm looking at it, it's like a lot of people like me to understand that, to understand where the anger, where the aggression is coming from. Because I completely understand that. That was me. That still is me. I still am an angry person. I still get pissed off, but I know how to control it. I know how to work with it better, before I was just a raging maniac. So, and there was a lot of shit that came up today. Like, we went to American Stonehenge today in New Hampshire, and first of all, nobody really knows what went on in that place. It's a place in the middle of the woods, like in New Hampshire, and it has all these stones everywhere, and they have like the summer solstice stone. They knew that, the archaeologists that went there knew that that stone matched about 2,000 years ago where the sun would rise during the summer solstice. And then they had the stone where for like the winter solstice and things like that. And then they had like a whole little section. It had like a sacrificing rock and all this stuff and all these tunnels and things like that. When we went down there, the energy was really heavy, and I was like, oh my God, this is rough. Like, this is something that is just too much. Like, we couldn't even be in there. It was just like way too much energy. And then on the outskirts where it felt like they were doing more of their community stuff, like not so much their ceremonial stuff, it felt a lot better. But there's so much of this energy on the earth. It was like heaviness. It was humans dying, humans doing things to each other that weren't so great. And like, there can't be people that are helping heal the energy of the earth when they're afraid to go into the shadow, when they're afraid to go real. Like, I felt like when I went in that place, like that place needs some cleaning up. Like, that place is an energy vortex that definitely needs some cleaning, and we need some badass healers, and we need some badass spiritual people. We need some badass coaches, not people that are always just in a suit smiling or, with, I don't know. I think that stuff is good, but like, I'm here to bring something different to the table. And for a long time, I was afraid to kind of be who I was. A lot of people were like, you're too hard, you're too aggressive when you come in and you say things. And I listened for a long time, and I think that it was good for me to do that because I needed to go and be more quiet and be more within and be more of that healer. But for me to keep suppressing that was very dangerous, and I could feel myself breaking inside. And even yesterday, after I posted that post with my middle fingers in the air and just saying, this is who I am, on the Ascension NXT page, because that's who I was for such a long time, was I was like, just Ashley the card reader and let me pull some cards for you. I noticed that like 3 people unliked my page. Well, I have like almost 5,000 likes on that page, or like 4,500, so it doesn't matter. But I noticed on the Ashley V page the likes went up, you know, because this is Ashley. Like, Ashley's been hiding behind Ascension Next for so long. And I'm not hiding anymore. And with the Stone Cold thing, when my boyfriend said that, I was like, yeah, like, this is how I'm gonna come in. Like, me coaching people and working with people, I'm gonna fucking come in and give them the Stone Cold Stunner, and they're either gonna have to get back up and do the thing, or they're gonna walk away like a bitch. You know what I mean? Like cutting a wrestling promo right now. You're either gonna do the thing, or you're just gonna run away from Ashley, because I'm not for everybody. I'm just not. Like, that's not who I am. I can't be that person that is just quiet and reading angel cards and not giving you F-bombs, you know, because that is who Ashley is. Ashley will always be that. Even when I'm 90 years old, I'm probably going to be walking around with a fucking wrestling belt and tattoos on my face, flipping people off. Like, that's just who the fuck I am. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin, man. I am the Stone Cold Steve Austin of the healing community. I am here to come in, trigger people, offend people, say things that not everyone is going to like, not everyone is going to agree with. People that like me are even going to get mad at me, because I do that on a daily basis with the people around me. You know what I mean? So don't think that I won't do it to you, because it's going to happen. And then you can call me out on it and I'll say sorry and I'll apologize. But, I mean, it is what it is. So, it's just so exhausting trying to be somebody that you're not. Like, when you're trying to keep yourself contained, you're never ever going to reach ascension. You just can't do it. Ascension is not keeping yourself contained. So a lot of the people that want to pretend like they're good, or put on this facade that everything in their life is just perfect, and they have no more karma left. That's another thing that people in the spiritual community say, oh, I have no more karma left. That's fucking bullshit. If you had no more karma left, you'd be dead. You wouldn't even be on the fucking planet unless you're like a monk or something like that. I don't know. But there's no such thing as no more karma left. We just watched Stone Cold this morning. He's the fucking man. See? It's the energy of Stone Cold. It's the Leo energy is here. I think it's here, or it's coming in, so that's fucking amazing. But yeah, that's why everyone liked him. Because he was real. When he was stunning Steve Austin and he came out and he was like, I think it was with the $1 Million Man, and he was flashy, nobody liked him, because that wasn't who he is. And people needed Stone Cold to set them free. There's always got to be that one person that riles people up to help set everyone free. And that's who I am. I'm here to rile people up. I'm here to rile you up. I'm here to give you the energy. I'm here to fucking motivate you. I'm here to tell you to go tell your boss that treats you like shit to go fuck themselves. Because that's what you gotta do. If you're being held down and you're being submerged in somebody else's shit, like somebody else is keeping you down and keeping you contained and keeping you in this container, you need to release yourself from that. You need to free yourself from that. That's also the indigo energy. I carry a lot of the indigo energy in me. The indigo energy creates upheaval. The indigo energy creates destruction. It does. A lot of indigos have that fiery, passionate energy. I'm totally an indigo child. Definitely, 100%. Here to break down the old paradigm. Here to break down the rules. Here to break down the old walls. And a lot of people get triggered by that. Even people who want it. Even people that want it. I know there's people that like me. and they can't watch my videos all the time because they get triggered by me. I can tell. I can feel it. I know who they are. I know a few of them. But it is what it is, and it just has to be like that. So we can't clean up the energy on this planet if we're so dainty and gentle all the time. We need the gentle healers, but we also need the kick-ass people on the front lines that are ready to go. I mean, in an army, you gotta have special forces, and then you gotta have the people that are helping rebuild in the back. I feel like I'm in the special forces here, folks, of the Ascension. Like, I am here to bring the energy in. I am here to help with the cleanup. I am here to be real, to be raw, to even give you the information that you don't even want to hear, that you can't even process at the moment. I'm not here to, like, make friends with people, you know? Honestly, that's how I feel. Like, I have friends, and I love my friends, and I love my community. But I'm here to really fucking push people. And with that, I gotta be Stone Cold Steve Austin. I just gotta do it. And The Rock. The Rock when he was a heel. Because that, I don't know, The Rock was great anyways. The chief of the Ascension. I guess, yeah. I mean, we can't be nice all the time. We can't do it. We can't be nice all. It's not that you have to be disrespectful and rude. I'm not trying to. I don't want to put out there that I'm going to be disrespectful and rude, but real can come off as disrespectful and rude sometimes to people. So we got to do it. Sometimes it's not going to be fun too. You know what I mean? It's just not. There's going to be a lot of things that we're going to have to do that we don't want to do. There's going to be things that you have to do every day that you don't want to do, you know? But you got to do it. You got to stop bitching and complaining and do the thing, do the work. Because if we don't put the work in, God only knows where we're going to go, you know? Sometimes too with it, it's that I feel like with the energy, because I'm tapping into the energy of Stone Cold right now. To him, like CM Punk used to say this a lot if you watch wrestling, but I really feel like Stone Cold was the voice of the voiceless. Like he was the guy that would go in and say anything and not care about the consequences because he knew he had to do it to create some kind of order and balance in the system that was corrupt. So to him, the whole thing was him battling Vince McMahon and all of his cronies, and then it was Stone Cold by himself. You know, he never gave in. He never gave in to fear. That was one of his things. It was like he had to go in and do what he had to do to create some kind of order within the system of where he was so they couldn't take advantage of the people. And you know what? It was Stone Cold with all the people behind him. That's what it always was. It felt like he was outnumbered. But when he really went in at it, he had hundreds of thousands of people behind him. And to me, that feels like the Ascension. Like we're going in alone. We think that it's just us. We think that we're outnumbered. We think that everything is so corrupt, that everything is so fucked up, that there's nothing that we can do anymore. But we have these invisible forces behind us cheering us on. And when we take the chance and we go in, that's when you feel the energy behind it. That's when things start to happen. I'm just going to start tapping into like all these wrestlers and the energy that they bring in and connecting it to the Ascension, because I could definitely do that with The Rock. And Hulk Hogan too. And The Undertaker. And Shawn Michaels. And John Cena. I'm super grateful for your work and for encouraging us. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, we're really going to have to say no to a lot of things. We have to do it. It's all about the boundaries, man. All right. This was my little message for today on Ashley TV. thank you for joining me. And tomorrow I'm going to be live really early, like around 7:30. I'm going live with my friend from Australia, and we're going to talk about the Ascension. So I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And then we're going live on the Ascension NXT page tomorrow for the online shopping sale. So I'm going live twice tomorrow. All right, I'll see you guys soon. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. And blessed be.